Hello, Cancer. Thank you for tuning in to your love read. For the main read, I'm using the Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan, illustrated by Mark Evans, and for the supportive oracle cards, the Angels Answers oracle cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. I already shuffled. Alright, so 6 for them, 6 for you. That card was very... You got the Nine of Cups on your partner's side. And that card was very forceful in coming out, so... Okay. Now... Okay, just one oracle card, but still. It simplifies that makes sense. Alright, I feel like what we need to start with is where you each are standing. Nine of Cups for your partner, Knight of Pentacles for you. You're very dedicated to the situation. Continued growth, steady growth, still moving. Like, I don't feel like the relationship is making great strides or jumps forward, but it's continuing in a progressive stance. Like, things are going well and seem to be going better and better. Whatever direction it's heading, it's continuing that motion. Now, they have the Nine of Cups, which means they're extremely happy and content with the relationship. I feel like they're looking at it in the sense of like what they've achieved. It's very a lot of security here. I'm feeling security with that. And it seems to be pushing out very strongly. Like when I was shuffling, like that card almost like jumped out on its own. So I'm feeling like they're very, very happy to be with you. They're very, very happy with this relationship. You seem very dedicated as well. They're definitely... You also have the Two of Cups on your side, by the way, so that's a love card. That seems to be a very stable, grounding portion. Like, you're very grounded in your love with this person. Like, I feel like it's you and them. Like, when you consider stuff for yourself, you're also including them in that same boat, if that makes sense. Like, if you're at the store, you're looking to get yourself something for dessert, you're either A, considering something that your partner will also like, or getting something for yourself and them at the same time, if that makes sense. Like, they're in the same, like, you care for them the way you would care for yourself. I hope that makes sense. Like, they're very much in your heart, deeply. Now, that being said, I do have the Seven of Wands for your partner. I feel like they think you're a lot to live up to for some reason. Now, I am getting like they're comfortable and happy, and they're feeling like... I feel like they're looking at you like they've lucked out. Like they found somebody that is really, really a great person for them, but that everybody else can see what a great person you are. Like they feel very lucky and fortunate to be with you, and I feel like they're trying to keep up. In a sense, they almost feel like they're trying to keep up. And something on their side makes me feel like they don't feel like they're making the grade like they would like to. Although I'm not really feeling like you have that issue with them. I don't feel like there's anything... When you look at them, I don't feel like you're seeing anything lacking. But when they're thinking of themselves in this relationship, they're feeling like they're a little behind on some aspect. Which is interesting because I'm also... They have the Nine of Pentacles on their side, which is enjoying comfort, feeling, again, it's kind of mirroring, it's a different feel. Like the Pentacles is more of a financial, feeling secure and safe. The Cups are more of an emotional, feeling happy, feeling loved. You know, but the two of these marry together very well, in my opinion. I'm noticing right behind the Nine of Pentacles is the Seven of Cups. I feel like they're still trying to... I feel like they feel like you are all in. You're giving everything to this relationship, and they want to give more. They want to show more appreciation, and I feel like that's why the Seven is behind it, because they have all these ideas. They want you to know how much they care. I almost feel like... I don't know why, but it seems like almost a competition in their mind. Like, who can show more love, and they feel like they're losing the game. It's just strange, because it's like... It just sounds funny to me, because... Like who can prove they love the other more? But that's all in their head. That's not even something you're playing here. You're not even a part of that game, and like that has nothing to do with what you're doing. But they seem to be like, who's ahead in the game of showing love? I swear that's what it feels like on this side. It's almost like a strategic, like, oh, they're ahead of me. I have to show them how much I love them too. Like, it's just, I feel like this might be just a way this person grew up. It's kind of like a competitive type nature. That's very interesting. I don't feel like it's bad in this situation, but that can be a pattern. Like, if you look at your partner closely, I feel like they have this competitive edge with a few different aspects of their life. And I think you can see what they're doing in other aspects and realize that's what they're doing here, trying to show you how much they love you. It just makes me giggle because they're just kind of, it's almost like a competition for who can show who loves more. I don't know. It's interesting. Right now it seems okay, but I feel like it's that can be a double-edged sword in some cases, because that can be a little bit overwhelming sometimes. It's really not. I don't really see it being a problem here, but I'm just noticing that energy. I've seen it in other readings go a little sour, especially if that person feels like they're ahead. That can be a whole different situation, because sometimes people do that. I don't feel like that's an issue here, but right now this person feels like they're behind, and I don't feel. I feel like the way you express love, it's just the way they're viewing it. I feel like they're always in that spot anyway, so I don't feel like it's going to be a problem in your relationship, though if this is connecting correctly. But I'm just getting this competitive nature can be a good and a bad thing at the same time, if that makes sense. Okay, I don't know why we had to go on about that for a while, but I feel like we did. The Queen of Swords is in their future next. But I feel like this is also like, is this coming forward what they're doing? I really feel like they're having an issue. Like they feel like they're not giving enough to the relationship. I find this so interesting. I don't know if I want to say interesting. You're happy with them. You're not expecting like the world from them. You just want them to love you and to be there with you and be on your side if you need somebody to be on your side. You know, somebody to talk with, somebody to be with, somebody to love. Now, I swear, like it doesn't seem to bother you at all. But, I mean, in the sense of, like, this isn't really a competition to you at all. But to them, I swear, it feels like it if this is hitting. And it's like, I feel like they're their own worst enemy in this situation. They have the Five of Pentacles, the Five of Cups, the Queen of Swords. I feel like they have a moment where they have to come forward and tell you that, like, they're almost apologetic because they want to do more for you and they feel like they're not. This is a weird thing. Is this really coming? All right, this is how it's coming through. Like, they're feeling apologetic and they're feeling, like, left out in the cold and a little disappointed in themselves because they can't seem to keep up because they feel like you're giving more, or they're viewing it like you're giving more. Is this financial? Like, are you giving more financially, and is that why this is hard for this person? Because I see this going forward. Like, the confession here, where they feel like they're behind, this seems to help, because you need to know what's going on in their head. And I'm seeing the forgiveness card on their side, too. Like, whatever you say to them, however you handle this, it seems to calm them down and get them to move on. Like, I feel like you're trying to pull them out of that mindset. Kind of like, listen, this isn't a competition. I just love you, and I want you a part of my life, and I want you to be a part of these things. It's not a competition. And I feel like you have to reiterate that a few times. Like, I don't feel like this is one conversation. I feel like there's a start conversation, and then there's a few after it where you have to keep reminding your partner, like, this isn't a competition of love. I have the ability to do this. I want you with me. Just enjoy. I'm not expecting you to be... I know where you are financially. I know what you're doing. It's fine. There's no problem here. Because in your future, when they have the Queen of Swords, like, they come forth with this honesty of how they're feeling, because I feel like that's what's going on with the Queen of Swords. She's coming forth with this honesty of how she's feeling. Don't get caught up in the gender, of course, but that's what it feels like. The Hermit is on your side. You're trying to find ways to alleviate this. You're looking for a way to, like, just make this not about a competition. And you got the Knight of Cups here, where you're extending that love back to your partner. Like, you know what? This is not a competition. It's fine. I don't understand why you got to view it that way. I'd rather you didn't. because this is not a competition. I love you. Like, there's no winning or losing. We're in love. It's not a problem. But you're also realizing at the same time, the Eight of Swords, you realize that this is them. I feel like at this point you're realizing, like, this isn't just how they treat this life with you. This is how they go through life in many different areas. It's a very competitive nature is what I'm feeling. If this is hitting, I feel like there's a competitive nature here. And they seem to have this accounting view of, like, debits and credits of emotion. Like, who's ahead and who's behind and how much is one person giving. Like, everything has to balance. Like, I feel like it's that type of mentality. And you're very well aware that this is happening. You're also very well aware that it's so deep in who they are that you're not going to change it. And you know that. You're just going to keep extending this love while still being kind of aware of it. And I feel like that's the whole point. If this reading is hitting for you, I feel like that's the whole point. That you can't really change that. Like, it's just, I feel like you need to know it's nothing at all to do with who you are or how you're living or how you're handling the situation. It's how they've grown up and who they are, who they've become to be. It's just who they are, for whatever reason. The last card here, on their side anyway, is the Death card in their spirituality, in the sense of, like, I feel like they're making some type of headway in the sense where they have to accept where the situation is. The Death card is definitely a change. So this is a spiritual change. I feel like you're teaching your partner something about love in the sense of, like, it's not about who has more. It's not about this. You know, it's not a game. It's not a battle of who does more. It's not. We're not keeping score like that. It's just love is there, and when two people are good to each other and love each other, it's fine. It's not. That's the whole. That's the win. Like, when two people are good to each other and love each other and have that feeling and move forward, like, that's the win. There's nothing to keep score for after that. That's just the win. And I feel like you're kind of teaching them that, because I have the Death card on their side, which makes me feel like they're going on to the next level. Like, this competition with love, I still feel like there's a competitive nature here, but I feel like they're looking at it differently. I feel like they're moving it from, like, trying to keep up with, like, you get, say, for example, you get a gift from a store, and then you do some other things for them. So normally, before this point, they would be like, well, now I have to get a gift for you, and now I have to get some other stuff when you're needing it. Like, they used to keep tally that way, in a sense, like a mental tally. But they're kind of evolving to the next level where, all right, my partner gave me this and a couple other things, and that's fine. I have to make sure that I show appreciation for that. And if the opportunity comes around, I have to make sure I'm there for them. Like, they seem to go to the next level. Instead of, like, tit for tat, 5 cents for 5 cents. They're more looking like you give them something, they have appreciation, they show that, but they also keep an eye out for you. If they can do something for you, they kind of do when they can. But it's not like I have to make sure I keep up. It's just kind of like when the opportunity presents itself, then they do what they can for you. So I feel like this is moving to the next level, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like you're teaching them something. Although, another reason this reading might be coming to you is because you're feeling kind of like this is just how they are. It's not going to really change. But in truth, this situation itself, which it might be a little uncomfortable for you, especially with this Eight of Swords here, it is going to the next level for your partner. Like, this is helping for your partner. They are evolving a little bit. I don't know if you're going to notice it right off the bat, but it does feel like if this is hitting, they're going to the next level. Is this good? Alright, so I feel like this is good for Cancer relationships. Let's go into Cancer singles. Cancer singles. What do we have for Cancer singles? Cancer singles. Empowering information for Cancer singles to help them move forward in a way that empowers them and helps them get what they want out of life. Alright, now, wow, there's like 3 or 4 cards popped out all at once. Some of these newer decks are a little slippery, but when they all pop out at once, I just tend to honor it instead of... What's up with this? These are hidden. I feel like these are hidden aspects here. So let's find out as we go forward. Which, that card, I feel like that all goes together. So Cancer singles, I have to say, Looks a little complicated because you have a bunch of cards, but let's get into it and find out what's going on. It feels like it's a very eventful moment here, at the very least. If it's good or bad, I'm not really sure yet, but we'll find out. Oh, I don't know if I really wanted that card popping out there, but it feels like that's where it's supposed to be. Stop. Stop. Alright, I will stop. Four of Wands, where you're standing. Now, for whatever reason, my brain just does not connect with cards on certain days in the same way that they did on previous days. When I'm looking at this card, the four with the posts here, but I'm noticing there's nothing on top. Not that there has to be, but I feel like there's actively something is being built here. I'm not even going to go with whatever the card truly means because it's just not coming to the forefront of my brain. But to me it feels like there's something being built but not finished yet. And I feel like you're in progress, but you're feeling really good about it, and things seem to be going together well. Things seem quite stable at this point that we're dealing with right here. You also have the Ace of Pentacles with the It's Up to You card, which I feel like you're kind of in the position where you're like, you know what, the situation is moving forward quite dependably, quite stably, and you're feeling like you're the reason why. Is that true? Yes. So you're the one who's bringing the stability to this situation. You're interested, you're showing an interest, you're keeping things going. Alright, and I also have like the Emperor at the top here, which makes me also, I feel like that's also reiterating the Ace of Pentacles in the sense of like the stability, the thought process, the keeping a hold of things. Ironically, another reason why I'm feeling that is because the first card right below this is the King of Pentacles. Very, very strong. Whether you're male or female, I don't feel like it matters. I just feel like it's denoting the energy, stable, dedicated, relentless sometimes. Not in a bad way in the sense, but this is an energy that's more about the analytical, on paper, how it's going to happen. It doesn't let emotional feelings sway the progress of what's going on. While emotions are connected, this is more about, there's a plan, this is what I plan to do, this is what I'm sticking with. If I stick with the plan, it'll work out in the end. Even if there's bumps, I just have to stay dedicated to the plan. And I feel like this is like where you're starting. That's again why I'm getting this is like I feel like something's in progress, not completed, but looking pretty good. You're enjoying it. You're building it a certain way. You've got a stable start. You're feeling really good. You're feeling like you're in control of this. Good? I'm getting like a slight no, which means I might have missed a little something. Now they're pulling me towards this card, so this might make more sense. You've been kind of, like, even though you're in control, there is a bit of a struggle. Because this card is always struggle with success for me. Well, I say most of the time, I should say. Because I'll say always, and then the next reading, it'll be something completely different. But usually this card is success through stress. Overcoming obstacles. Getting through things. So I feel like this is the last component of this where you're standing. Like, no, we gotta do the past too. Alright, fine. But this is another piece of it. You're succeeding through Page of Wands. Page of Wands. I feel like when you started this, you weren't really as sure as you are now. I feel like you weren't even sure if it was even going to have a chance when you started. Now, they're like, that's the... So when this started, you weren't even thinking... You were thinking it may not even have a snowball's chance in HE double hockey sticks. But things turned out differently. You've succeeded through the stress, but now you feel like you have a lot more control. There's a lot more stability here, a lot more things going your way. You feel like there's some growth. It's not completely where you want it to be yet. It's still a single Cancer read, so that makes sense. But you're headed there, and you're feeling very optimistic about it getting to where you want it to be. Yes. Okay, so that being said, we got some communication going on here. Three of Wands. There's a lot of action and communication going on here. I'm seeing where the next part comes. So, alright. You got the Three of Wands. You're going out to get what you want. You got the Knight of Swords. That's communicating It's making that offer, getting that communication out there. But it's also with the page, like, I feel like this is very diplomatic in the sense of you're fairly direct, but if it doesn't seem to be going your way, you're backing off, regrouping, coming back, getting back in it. Doesn't seem to be going the way you want. You're backing off, checking it out, coming back. Like, I feel like this is like a team effort, and the way you're handling it, it's like it's only you. I feel like this is only you with how you're handling it, but like, you go forward, say what you want. Doesn't seem to hit exactly the way you want. Come back, you regroup. You got the Page of Swords here in the sense of like somebody who passively communicates but is very involved in the situation. So you kind of absorb, follow direction in the sense. Then you come back and you become the Knight of Swords again. You put out what you want again. See how that responds. So it's kind of like a flowing energy of like being aggressive with saying what you want, then stepping back and absorbing and seeing what the other person wants. But it seems like it goes like in like moment to moment. Like, it's not like a conversation. Like, it's not like one conversation you're aggressive and passive. It might be like a conversation where you're aggressive, saying what you want, blah 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 blah, and then you get feedback on that, so you become more passive, and you listen. You still communicate, but you start absorbing more information. Then you switch back into the Knight and you become more aggressive, saying how you feel, what you think should happen. I hope this makes sense, because it feels like kind of a flow between like more passive and aggressive, with maybe some passive-aggressive things in there. I don't know. The way I'm saying those together, it makes me wonder how closely those terms are actually fitting for the situation. Because I do feel like you're directly saying what you want. But I feel like based on what's going on around you and the response you're getting, you are holding back when necessary. Because I don't feel like you're going like right for the money shot in the sense of like, I'd like to be in a relationship with you. I don't feel like that's what's happening. I feel like you're kind of like, hey, I want to go to this. Do you want to go with me? And they're like, I don't know if I can do that. So you kind of hold back and you listen and you try to like find out what are the things they're interested in, what are the things they might be going to. So say you wanted to go to like a state fair and they're like, I don't know if I want to do that. So you're like, oh, okay, and you pull back and you listen and you find out that they want to go to like a water park. So then you find a water park that's nearby and you're like, hey, I'm going to go to this water park on this day. You want to go with me? And they're like, oh. And then they give you feedback. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. I don't know if I'm explaining that right. I feel like I'm really getting involved in these two cards and over-communicating. Ooh, I wonder if that's part of it. Be careful of over-communication like you just saw me do. Because I feel like this could get stuck in a very more talk than action situation. Because I'm noticing this person standing on the bluff and they want to go forward. But if there's over-communication, you just might spend too much time on this bluff. And it's like less action, more talking is not going to help you. You want more action. So I feel like that's what we're talking about. This could end up being more talking than action if you're not careful. Ooh, after it took me 10 days to get there. All right. Now, I am going to cheat. In the sense of like I'm going to look to see what these cards are. Alright, so I see what's up here. How are we going to meld this together? I did cheat. You got the Five of Wands with the no. So I feel like everything was going so well, and then it looks like it stopped. Because it's a no with the exclamation. That's a definite no. And I saw, like, that causes a conflict, because I feel like you're upset about it, because to you, this was going well. Like, this, you did not see this dead stop coming. And it really upsets you when it happens because you did not see it coming. It's kind of a shock. This card I did see. We had the Five of Cups, like feeling disappointment, which made sense. But what was hidden under it were these two cards. Like they were like coming out the bottom of the deck here, like kind of like that. But you could see them a little bit, like probably like this. And I wasn't exactly sure what was going on with them, so I pulled them out. But basically, there's other people around this person that seem to be pulling them in a different direction. I feel like there's some other conversation going on with the person you're interested in between them and their friends about you, and I don't feel like this person is making their own decision. I feel like the people around them are directing them towards something else, or trying to. But I feel like this is the reason why you get this no. And like you didn't see it coming, because I do feel like also, even though the environment seems to be pushing them in a different direction, they're not happy about that. I feel like they're telling you no, but they're kind of like questioning whether that was a good idea or not. They seem to be a little conflicted. But I feel like the reason that they're moving on is because their friends are trying to get them to move in a different direction. Their friends are telling them that you're not the right match for them, or that you're not, or they're not the right match for you, or their friends seem to be directing them in a different direction for whatever reason. And I feel in some cases there's a male in this group that has interest in this person one way or another. I don't know. I'm getting a male energy, so I don't know whether you're interested in a female or a male. I feel like there's a male in this group affecting this person, whoever this object of desire is, be they male or female. I'm getting there's a male in that group that has ulterior motives that are kind of trying to like direct the situation. I don't see that coming forward to you, but I feel like there's something going on in that situation that isn't quite on the level. But when this no comes forward, like they just flat out tell you they're not interested, I feel like that causes an argument, because everything else looked like a green light up until this point, and it shocks you. I feel like it shocks you, and it upsets you. Now we're going to the end here. Are we? No, we're not. Okay, we'll be in the end in a minute. In the environment, we have the Four of Swords. To me, this is somebody holding their ground or trying to make up their mind what they want while holding their ground. I feel like this person around you is a little ambivalent. They don't know what they want to do. And they're just kind of holding their ground because they're kind of nervous and they're not sure to go left or right or what to do. And they're letting people around them make their decisions for them, while also kind of regretting letting that happen. And the reason it seems to be pushing forward is like they seem to be, around them it seems to be like there's something better. There might be a better match. There might be a better connection. I feel like they're not really giving this situation a fair shot. They seem to be in this moment where they're thinking, you know what, maybe this isn't the best for me. I'm not really crazy at this moment, crazy in love, so maybe I should consider other options. But they seem like they're really not sure what to do either way, though. It's not a very stable energy. It seems like this person's not really sure what they want to do. And I feel like they're giving a premature answer or premature judgment on the situation, because they're feeling like it should be a lot farther ahead emotionally if there's anything here, and I don't know if that's really fair. All right. I don't want to really dwell on that too much because I'm not sure where that's going. I feel like this energy, like I don't feel like when they said no to you, I don't feel like that was really all they're doing. I feel like it was just like they're going along with what their friends or their advisors are telling them is a better idea, and they're just doing what other people think is the best idea for them, and they're just going with it. And they seem to have this idea that there's something better for them. But I feel like they're prematurely judging the situation. I don't feel like that's the best. But I do feel like they are sticking with it. Okay. Especially with what I'm seeing here. The end result, you do have the Knight of Swords. Nope, the Knight of Wands. I feel like I'm noticing, because of these two cards here, I feel like you're jetting out. You're done. This shocked you. I feel like when that no came forward, that upset you. I feel like you're kind of insulted. It's kind of, yeah. Because I feel like you're out. I feel like you're out. Especially with this, the Ten of Swords, with the High Priest. The two of these together, even if this person comes back around and says they feel like they made a too hastily decision, I do feel like your emotions are hurt. Like that was like an insult to your emotions in the sense like it hit deep. When that shocking no came out of nowhere, the High Priest with the Ten of Swords, I feel like you're kind of holding a little bit of a grudge about it, and even if this person turns around and says, you know what, I changed my mind, I actually think maybe I would like to do that. You're like, well, ship sailed, so too late. You're like, nope, I'm done. And I feel like I feel like there's a little bit of hurt going on with this, in the sense of like you're kind of holding that, and that is kind of getting you to move on from this person. which might be for your best interest, because I feel this person is left and right a little wishy-washy at the moment, at least. So at least at the moment, this might be a better thing for you to move on from this situation. All right, I feel like we kind of summed that up. All right, I'm going to wrap that up there. Of course, if you'd like a direct reading from me, go ahead, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com, james4astral@gmail.com. Thank you.